nickel 9. Yeah. 5-9J. Let me speak my mind up. It's just me keeping it real. Keeping it 100. Let's go. Yeah.
Hey, yo, what's good with everybody, man? I hope everybody's having a productive day, feeling blessed. And like I always say, it's one life, one chance. We only got one chance to do this right. Let's get it done. Yeah, I know y'all seen the thumbnail and y'all probably like, yes, it's about damn time. It's about damn time. Been waiting for this kind of content. I get it. I understand you guys is intrigued by, MF videos and MF information, NF information. When I get information on either or, I throw it out there in the air and let you guys enjoy it for, content purposes and all that. But, I'm going to critique them. I'm going to criticize them. I'm going to downplay everything on the basis that I just want to show everybody that's, still in this lifestyle, willing to commit to themselves to these kind of gang leaders or commit themselves to a neighborhood that wants to be committed to the gang lifestyle. There's dirty politics, and the people that you look up to the most are the ones that you don't want to learn from, or you don't want to lead by example, because you're just going to become just as much as like them, corrupted like them, dirty politicians just like them, and you're going to hurt people or get hurt in the process trying to become just like them. So let's get into this video. Now, the RCPG program is a program where if you don't want to go SNY, but prison administration doesn't know what they can do with you, there's a lot of safety concerns. You got a lot of 1030s, a bunch of 812s. They can't place you on the yards because they think your gang is going to blast you and kill you. There's some California Department of Corrections. There's some facilities that will take heed and take into account your livelihood, your safety, your well-being. Some play a dirty game, though. I'm not going to lie to you. Some might get some, rumors or small information, and they just want you to break. Hey, man, your homies, we found this kite, bro. Your homies want you dead, bro. But if you tell on them and you give us this amount of information, we can put you over here. You be living good. But if not, they'll be like, we're going to keep you housed for as long as possible until you either break, give us information, or I can send you to a facility where you will die. Prison politics like that, man, trust me when I tell you, the California Department of Corrections will play that. There's a lot of good sergeants, good lieutenants, good prison administration members that don't care about politics. They just do their job. But there's a lot of corrupted investigators that will try to, send you down the river on trumped up charges or try to manipulate the circumstances so they can get information and not really care about your circumstances or what your life's going to be like afterwards on SNY. Because think about it. There's like maybe 300 or 400 2-5ers. Nah, I'm going to say more than that. They're probably 1,000 on the SNY, all mostly ex-Southerners from the main lines that walked away. You guys realize that there's certain people that they're waiting for to walk that main line? Walk SNY, so to speak, so they can kill them. Some they've kind of like converted to becoming 2-5ers, but Thudi from Cucamonga, who's in High Desert State Prison B yard, the 50-50 yard, they were waiting for him to go SNY. But he managed to go to a 50-50 yard in High Desert, right next door to all his big homies, his fellow brothers. Indio from Surenos. Oh, man, they've been waiting for Indio for Surenos for years. Artie, they said the same thing about him, but Artie from King Cobra's wound up going to Donovan. And they say he's been programming good because his health is deteriorating. He's about to die. So in this video right here, the RCPG program is about to be suspended. They're going to get rid of it. Now, you have two different yards, so to speak. You have SNYs that will program right there with everybody else, but they're segregated. Then you have the main lines there. Everybody that's in that program in the Pelican Bay is in the hat. You have a lot of Southerners that are in the hat but don't want to go SNY. But you have a lot of Mexican Mafia members that are in the hat that don't want to go SNY. So we're talking about Cuate from Cataranas. One of his brothers is up there too. Then you got Tigre from Avenues. You got Playboy from King Cobras. He just got put in the hat recently by the Mexican Mafia. They dirty politicked him pretty bad and took over his neighborhood the moment he ended up in the Pelican Bay program. Joker from Colonia Watts. Now, mind you, a lot of these individuals, and then one more. The other individual, his name is Joe from Oakland, from Northern California. He got put in the hat recently. So you got all these individuals, and mind you, 75% of these dudes that got placed in the hat were all placed in the hat by Güero Caballo. And what's crazy is that 3 of these individuals that were placed in the hat by Güero Caballo, guess who owns all their territory? Güero Caballo. Güero Caballo managed to take Joker from Colonia Watts, and right here in the picture, they're buddies, they're best friends. They took a picture together. The whole time they're hugging each other and embracing that brotherly love. All kinds of Mexican Mafia members were taking Joker's, his territories, all his casitas and you name it. They took his neighborhood because they thought that he was expanding, that he was taking over a lot more, and he wasn't advising the state commission of what he was doing, his business dealings. The only problem was he wasn't making other casitas in different neighborhoods. He wasn't taxing other neighborhoods. He wasn't even robbing his brother's neighborhoods. He just got a different business mind frame. He had a different hustle. You know, a lot of these dudes, believe it or not, and I seen it on paperwork. I just couldn't display it. They just let me read it, and then I had to give it back. These dudes invest a lot of their money in investments. You know, Popeye from Harpies invested into a lot of stocks. They created their own little banks for themselves to look out for brothers that are paroling, some from the feds. But overall, he did a different type of business. He used a lot of his tax money, his collection money, and he would buy like knockoff watches like Rolexes, certain crates of certain things, and he would flip his money and he would quadruple his money. But they were under the assumption that he was making more casitas, he was taxing other neighborhoods, he was robbing other neighborhoods. And so they backstabbed him, put him in the RCGP program in Pelican Bay. So you got Playboy, you got Joe, and then you got Joker. Tootie already got kicked out. Tootie, like I said, he's in High Desert State Prison on a 50-50 yard. These guys will eventually come out. They have to. If that program gets suspended, administration has to do their job and say, hey, man, we got to put you somewhere. And the administration and IGI are very familiar. There's a guy he's green-lighted, and he happened to be a member of the Mexican Mafia. And one of his 1030s clearly stipulated that, hey, F that dude. We don't want him to come back. He ain't coming back. It's over for that vato. A Mexican Mafia member told administration about this particular member that ended up there. Now we don't want him back. So now the administration has to take this 1030 from a Mexican Mafia statement that was made about a person that's in the hat, because they asked the dude, hey, can your homie come back? Is he going to be good? Like I said, administration plays a deadly game like that. They only do it to see what they would say. In reality, the dude could have been like, yeah, he can come back, bro. But in reality, he shouldn't have said anything. I ain't no Mafia member. They're not supposed to acknowledge La M that it exists, but they do anyway. So you got one dude that's in the RCPG program. He can't come out because the Mexican Mafia on the main line just happened to make statements to a cop saying, F that fool, it's over for that vato. Y'all stuvo, can't come back. Now what are they going to do with him? He doesn't want to go SNY because he still thinks he can come out. Now remember, if you're placed in the hat, you can still get cleared. You're not green-lighted until you're green-lighted. You're not dead until you're dead. So even if you're in the hat, you still have grounds for justification. You got grounds to conduct an investigation, or open an investigation, or really just plead your case to your big homies. They might overlook it. They might let it go. But now he can't come out. So you got all these members all put in the hat by the same 18th Street Mexican Mafia member that's been taking over everything. And it's probably one of the biggest and most powerful voices on the state commission in the California penal system, right? Well, here's the recent information I'm going to give you guys. There's a lot of dispute going on amongst that organization. Why? Because an MM member is supposed to hit another MM member. It's always been a rule, right? We all know about that. Just like the NF. An NF can only stab another NF member. A carnal can only take out another carnal. You can't really have foot soldiers doing that. It sends the wrong message that they're more than welcome to touch these organizations. But look what that message really says. Even if I'm deemed no good, you are still below me. You can't touch me. It is not your business. This is mafia business. This is organizational business. You guys are just foot soldiers. You guys are from the bottom of the totem pole. Even if I'm deemed no good, I'm walking the yard. As long as I have status, and as long as my brothers have me alive and they haven't killed me yet, I can control this whole yard, and you have to listen to me. It's been done time and time again, even with NF members. There were so many penal systems that were ran by NF members that were deemed no good or were put on freeze by Pelican Bay. But because they were the only NF members present on the yard, Even if all the Northerners heard about it, like, man, we heard this fool's on freeze, but who are we? We don't know the prison organizational structure. We don't know what's going on. We don't know the intricacies of the investigation. We don't know what's being said. We just heard the rumor. Well, until we get confirmation or until some other big homie says blast him, but we got to do what this man says. And how many of those Northerners got deemed no good for doing what that man says? The whole time that man was deemed no good anyways. Happens all the time. So technically, if you're not part of the organization, you ain't really nobody. You only there to serve their purpose and abide by their orders, right? So this particular quote-unquote filter that's going around is Güero Caballos basically saying any of those fools that come out of the RCPG program in Pelican Bay, Tigre, Playboy, Joe, Joker, we're going to have the Surenos blast them. Big old controversy that's going on, man. It's a trip reading the audio, man. These dudes really have no idea what them phones are capable of doing, right? So anyways, it's basically saying a lot of people are in a disagreement. But believe it or not, most of the state commission in California, the penal system, they're for it. They're like, yeah, why should we waste our time? Why should we even get our hands dirty? We got so much business going on. We're making so much money. We got so much clavos coming in. We got so much COs on the payroll. Why jeopardize all that for these dudes that are in the hat? We got people that are getting put up for membership. We got members that are up for 1-year evaluations before they get put up for membership. We got all these camaradas that just are thirsty for blood, that want to be a part of our organization. They might pull a stomper from Monrovia situation and say, hey, man, all you camaradas hit them, and we'll make you members. But stomper, me being the one that published the whole story for all these camaradas in the penal system to see, you don't want to be a Sureño getting told by a Mexican Mafia member, go ahead and blast this fool. He's in the hat. Knowing damn well both those individuals, the two Sureños that ever killed the Mexican Mafia member, look what happened to their careers. Look what happened to their faces. Look what happened. Look where they're at now. One of them got blasted bad multiple times. And look what happened to him. Do you really think these camaradas are willing to risk their career? Yes. Think about it. 200 members are getting put up to be made and only a select few are going to make it. So in reality, there's going to be a lot of Sureños that are willing to raise their hand to blast Joker, blast Playboy, blast Joe, blast Tigre. Because think about it. Tigre and Cuate are some of the biggest names that have been talked about all over social media and made documentaries about them. You put that body underneath your belt, you're going to be somebody. You have to be somebody. And that's what these dudes are going to be convinced of. And they're going to forget the whole aspect what happened with Stomper and his co-defendant. They're too bloodthirsty and they too much want to be just like their big homies. But the dispute is the old traditions versus the new traditions. You got old members that believe in the old ways that are saying, chales, bro, like a brother hits another brother. If these fools hit the yard, we're going to blast them. No camarada, no southerner is going to be putting hands on our brothers, even though he's deemed no good and he's green-lighted and he's in the hat. That's our job. That is our responsibility. We kill our own brothers. And there's older generation of homies and there's the older generation that believe in the new generation, believe in the new way, saying, why? Why compromise us? We've been compromising ourselves for 30, 40 years in the shoes. We were gone. We were isolated. Why throw everything away now when look at all we got? Look what's at our beck and call right now. We got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of little dudes that just want a name. They just want a reputation. Sometimes they might just want to be the ones that say they did it. These dudes are making us money. We're taxing them. We're beating them up. We're slapping them around. We're taking everything from them. They can't do nothing unless we tell them to do it. Let's utilize that. And let's make these dudes blast these fools so we ain't got to get our hands dirty. These dudes already got life. These dudes want to go down for it. These dudes want blood. Let them do it. Big old dispute, right? And all I sit here and think of is, damn, these dudes are arguing about whether or not they should utilize Southerners to do it. They didn't stop and say, let's ask the Southerners, like, hey, bro, who wants to kill an MMA member to become one? I doubt they gave anybody that option. So while these big homies are on the phone having this, internal dispute about whether or not it should be them or it should be Southerners that are obedient to them to blast their big homies, Southerners are right there like, yeah, so the big homie fools, you tripping right now? They're oblivious to the fact. They're oblivious to the fact that they're going to be utilized for something in the near future. So that's the big dispute that's going on. And I find it funny that, Güero Caballo is the main one that's basically saying like, nah, let's let the Southerners do it, fool. We don't got to do it. We don't got to get our hands dirty at all, bro. Let's not lose this all for stupidity. You know, just bending the rules, because so far 3 of those individuals that he deemed in the hat are gonna be coming out soon eventually. Granted that they might not land in High Desert State Prison where he's at, and they get a hold of him. They might land somewhere else. But it's a fear factor. He's afraid that the 3 individuals he put in the hat and he took their territories from might just come out with a vengeance. Or these 3 powerful individuals might come out and gain some influence, because it's no secret what he does and what he's been doing. He's tried to deem Thetical. He's tried to deem Joker. He's tried to deem a lot of Mexican Mafia members in the penal system, so he's not really liked. But it just so happens that he's the most powerful person on the state commission as we speak. So I wanted to share that information with you guys, and hopefully my video does reach these prison yards to let all these Southerners know, like, you will be utilized with or without your consent, whether you want to or not. I just want you guys to remember the Stomper story and him and his co-defendant being promised membership, and the moment they spilled another member's blood, a Mexican Mafia member's blood, look what happened to him. So I understand you're being part of the program and this is your lifestyle that you choose. Just want you to remember that story, because it could happen to you. You can either get made, you can either get deemed, or you can get killed by it. It's dirty politics and it's very unpredictable. So be safe in there. So with that being said, like I always say, is one life, one chance. We only got one chance to do this right. Let's get it done. Peace.